spawning down to our southern position here as our red Zerg. He goes by the name of IAM's NesTea.
And up in the top left, the gentleman who is currently leading this series, 1-0, getting ready to do a little 9-pool action yet again. It is MVP DRG.
And we'll see what he wants to do here with that early pool. Probably put on some early aggression.
Oh,
but
no
NesTea.
way! No!
Oh, dear.
Wow. You know, it's kind of funny that earlier on you were talking about how so many people say things like, oh, Zerg vs. Zerg, it's all just Ling Baneling Wars. But it went from being just Ling Baneling Wars to just mid-game Roach and Fester emphasis, and now it is Ling Baneling into Roach and Fester. It is testing every single skill set. This is like it's like one of those IB exams or the AP Zerg vs. Zerg.
It's true, man. It's really difficult. Well, I mean, you were right in the sense that a lot of people just ended up skipping entirely Ling Baneling Wars, and then from that point on, looks like, well, actually NesTea there, going along, checking if his opponent's expansion was there, realizing it isn't.
Now,
so
check out this bit of badassery. NesTea is building no Lings. This is a fast double queen build. It's very weird, but NesTea uses it extremely successfully on this map. We've seen him do it throughout the Iron Squid tournament. It's one of the oldest builds we've seen pretty much only him do on this map. Very often transitioning into some sort of Ling and Fester heavy build. Oftentimes surviving for a seeming eternity with a very small set of units. There's Queen number 2 popping out, and with this early pool build, NesTea has a tremendously... Check out that drone count! NesTea going to get ready to do the poking. He's at 13 to 11, and already will be getting that lead in the injects.
Yeah, doing himself all right here. DRG poking around, realizing he won't be able to get too much done here. But, you know, as you said, it's something that leads on very nicely from that drone scout, just to see if he could do any damage. He can't do the damage. Oh, not make any Zerglings. Then I'll just keep going with the droning, going with the queen production, and then eventually take his expansion as well. Meanwhile, DRG already taking his expansion, has been spotted by NesTea. NesTea, for now, well, he'll probably just play an economic game whilst we have DRG still dancing around with his Lings, but NesTea knows that he's in the lead in terms of, you know, a little bit of a production because of how many Lings were committed to early on.
Yeah, NesTea has two distinct advantages. The first one is that he has the extra early queen, so not only does he have a little bit more defensive capability, which is so important on this map due to surprises, but he also has the earlier Ling speed. So NesTea has set himself up nicely for both defense and offense, not with ultra-swift Zergling attacks, but with the kind of a little bit later Zergling attacks, the 7, the 8-minute Zergling swings. Yet to see any sort of spawning pool research from NesTea, though.
Yep, I'm getting a ton of gas there. There we go. There's that speed now on the way here for him, as we do have DRG, meanwhile, back up to the top left here. Grabbing himself a spine crawler, getting everything set up and good to go to defend his natural. Always very, very important, just in case his opponent in the form of NesTea wants to actually show tendencies for going over for a lot of aggression. And the thing is, NesTea against Scala on this exact same map showed a lot of tendencies of, I would say, higher drone aggression in terms of having around 25 to 30 drones and then going for either a lot of Lings with roaches to push and try and do some damage. But Scala's defense was very, very strong from that point on, and NesTea really lost a lot of advantages through losing a lot of units very needlessly. So DRG knows his opponent in terms of this map, in terms of styles, and he's just taking good precautions.
I will say what NesTea's doing is really hard to time against, because if one player in the world does it, it's tough to get the practice, Kellaris.
Yep.
I mean, everything I'm saying is completely intuitive. You have to feel it out in DRG's position. He's getting himself up this earlier than necessary spine crawler. Look, none of the timings from NesTea align with that, so DRG, again, not preparing for those attacks specifically, trying to wing it. Look at this. We even see the Roach Warren for DRG before his layer's down. I guarantee you DRG is not desperately trying to do some sort of really late, terrible 2-base Roach all-in. He's doing this because he's just unsure and he needs that extra defense.
Yeah, and for now we do have 35 workers to 37 in the favor of DRG, still droning up profusely, adding on his layer as well with that Roach Warren just to keep cranking out that tech. NesTea, meanwhile, though, 4 gas guys is already here. Actually, 3 gas guys is even, my apologies. But still, could easily go up if he wanted to. But he has a lot of options. He could actually get technically really, really aggressive, and 3 Overlords on the way makes me think maybe he will.
Oh gosh, is NesTea really going to try to go for this? I mean, this is a weird and very, very, very risky timing attack. No way!
This is exactly the same thing he did against Scarlet. And Scarlet just, you know, knew that that is the possibility from NesTea on this map. He does play very aggressive on this map, and from that point on, you just need good SimCity at the front, good spines, and, well, double upgrades being committed to for DRG. That could be a lot of gas invested in upgrades that needs to be invested in defense.
And now we see the Roach production starting for DRG. Nothing yet out of NesTea in terms of movement in the middle, except for those Zerglings. And here he's moving down with the Roaches. God, I can't imagine this going anything but terribly for NesTea. But keep in mind, he does have the 3 geysers down. He's banking up gas. He will likely go for a layer in transition during the midst of all this, but he might just commit to the Massling, Baneling, plus Roach push. Gosh, I don't know about this attack, Kalaris. This is so risky.
It is very risky indeed, but the spine crawlers are not fully up just yet, and it's not creating a huge wall. He does have a very nice concave at the top of this ramp, though, to deal with it. And the Baneling is coming in at a staggered time with those roaches, but they get good connections.
All the Zerglings swarming on in. Is NesTea going to win with this timing push? DongRaeGu pulls back, needs absolutely perfect placement with those drones to fend things off. Back at the natural expansion, we see the spine crawlers slowly finishing up. 7 Roaches in production, but 24 Zerglings. 2 more Banes getting produced from NesTea. What an unusual opening, straight into an unusual timing push, and it has caught DRG with his pants down.
Killing off a lot of what we're seeing here from DRG, killing off a lot of those extra reinforcing Roaches. All of the Queens have gone down as well. So many more ones on the way.
Loves it. The crowd chanting NesTea. He's throwing everything. He's got it. DongRaeGu, the 1-1 upgrade's about to finish for DongRaeGu, and it doesn't even matter. GG, the series ties up 1-1.
Scary stuff. Scary stuff.